Hello, Chunt here again. Just wanted to make a quick video about like a year in review. I know we're about a quarter way through January already, but what the hell? Let's go over last year. Did some pretty awesome things. Also, wasn't really the best year either. Probably the next highlight of mine for 2014 would be going to Brisbane Supernova, or Brisnova, or whatever they want to call it. There were 3 people that I wanted to meet there when they brought out the announcements. The first 2 announcements that really caught my eye was Austin St. John and Walter Jones. And if you don't recognise those names, they are respectively the Red and Black Ranger from the original 1993 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers show. If you guys remember that, and if you don't, I'm showing my age. But when they were announced, I saw it come up on my Facebook feed and I was like, holy shit! Holy crap! Like, I've wanted to meet these people. I used to idolise these people when I was 6 or 7 going on even today. Like, that's 20 years or 21 years that you kind of have this idea of someone in your head that, oh man, I wonder what they're doing, or I'd love to meet them one day. And like, it's only been in the last couple of years that I've really been able to read up on what they've actually been doing with their lives since that show. But yeah, I had to go. As soon as I saw that come up on my feed, I had to go. They don't come to this country. Like, a lot of these guests, the big ones or even the littler ones that you really would like to meet, they don't come here. It's too expensive, or they don't think the fan base is here. So I thought this was going to be, they say they're coming back, but I thought this was going to be a once in a lifetime thing, and I pulled all the strings I could just to get down there. One of the other people that really blew my mind when they announced it was Peter Cullen, the voice of Optimus Prime, the original OG boy. Like, I could not believe that he was coming to Australia. I had to meet this guy. His voice. It's just one of those voices, if you weren't born at the time, you won't appreciate it. It's an awesome voice, don't get me wrong, but if you're a child, like 5 or 6 years old, and Transformers at the time was a new concept, and it blew your mind as a little child, and the voice of Optimus Prime just stood out amongst anyone else, and it just ingrained into the back of my head. And to this day, like, I can't look at a toy of Optimus Prime, or I can't look at a photo of Optimus Prime, or anything like that without thinking about Peter Cullen's voice. It's just one of those things. And that's why it was such a big deal when they got him to do Optimus Prime in the Michael Bay movies. It's the best thing about those movies. I finished work on that Friday night. There already was the first day. They had a Friday, Saturday and Sunday session, so I already missed the first day. So I literally finished work, went home, finished packing my crap, and got on the plane. So I knew that day, all on the way over in the cab ride, I was like, okay, just get the times for when they're coming out to sign, or when their photo op is up, and just book it in your phone for an alarm, and just stand in line like a half hour or an hour ahead, just so you don't miss out, because that's too much to go through just to miss out after 21 years of waiting to see these people. So I'm standing in line at Austin St. John's line, and like, I see the Ranger Force guys, the Australia Power Ranger team here, and say good day to all of them that recognise me, or I recognise them. I say, oh yeah. And we're all waiting in line, and we're all hyped up, and I'm just super nervous. I didn't expect myself to be. It just kind of caught up with me when I was standing in line a little bit. I was kind of cool and alright about it. I'm like, yeah, right, yeah. And then you see them walk out, coming up to their table, getting their stuff ready, and you're like, holy crap, like, they're real? Like, that kind of thought in the back of your head, just, oh man, they're real. Okay. Then they're right there. Like, after, years as a kid, watching them doing their backflips and fighting putties and jumping out of Zords and stuff, and all of a sudden they're there, they're real, and you're like, oh wow, this is really something else. The inner child in you is like just doing backflips themselves. So Austin St. John, he starts walking down the line, and I'm like fifth in row or something like that. and he starts walking down the line, and I'm like, holy crap, and he's starting to shake everybody's hand to say good day, like before, before we go up to signing, just a quick hello. And I thought that was awesome, like very respectful, and like you don't see anybody else doing that. The whole day I didn't see anyone else do that, but he did. So that was awesome. And I remember when he came to me and I was just, hey mate, how you going? Man, 20 years, what's going on? It's been, why is it taking you this long to come here? He goes, yeah, 20 years, hey, oh, that's a long time. Well, I'm here now. And I'll see you up front. And I'm like, yeah, waited this long, I don't mind. Then that was great. And then after he started talking to someone else, my legs started shaking. And I'm standing here thinking to myself, you're a 29-year-old man, and you just shook the hand of one of your childhood heroes, and now your knees are going. It's like you don't expect that to come over you, but it did. And I must admit, I got a bit like, oh my god, like taken back. And then I look over and Walter Jones is at his table getting ready. There's a bit of confusion about the lines because they're side by side, and we're like, well, why can't we just have one line so we can just split off and go around and then around? But doesn't matter. Everybody went to see him as well, and I could not wait to meet him either. Like from what I've seen on interviews and stuff on the internet, he's a total dude. So yeah, I go up front and I finally get to speak with Austin, and it was awesome to see him face to face and say good day properly. So that one moment was like, holy shit. My 6-year-old boy inside was just jumping for joy, and you try to keep me cool, try to be cool, and just, oh man, how you going? Yeah, it's good to see you. It's been a long 21 years wait for you guys to come down to Australia, and I got to have a decent conversation with him, and told him my story about what I've had to do just to come here to see him, and he was totally appreciative of it, and he was like very straight up and down with me, and kind of a military gentleman kind of speaking, very respectful and thankful and appreciative, and I really dug meeting him. It was really good. Yeah, and then I was supposed to go around straight to Walter's desk because I had tickets for both, and I went right back to the other end of the line because I was just all over the shop. Went back to the line again, and I didn't realise I was in the wrong line, so I had to jump over and went straight up to Walter, and it was pretty much the same thing. Like, holy crap, man, that's Walter Jones, that's Zach, the original Black Ranger. Is awesome. He was one of my other favourites in that show. He just looked like he was always having a good time in the show. So I remember that about him. But he was a complete dude. Like, he's a really cool guy. Very honest and very thankful. Much the same. Like, super friendly. I told him my story, the same thing I said to Austin. He's like, 21 years, holy shit. And took the last flight out just to come here and all this kind of stuff. And he's like, oh wow, like, oh man, like that's amazing. And at the end of speaking to him, he got everything signed and that, and he full on came around the side of his table, and he comes up to me and like gives me one of those kind of, grabs my hand, kind of pulls me in, and he's like, his head is like up against my head, like a bro hug kind of thing. And he's like, thanks for coming to see it. It's really awesome, nice to see you, and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, whoa, holy shit! Like, it's one thing to have one of your heroes shake hands with you in the line, and then speak with you like real straight up man to man, and then across the table, and then have one of your other childhood heroes like break the barrier and like come across the table at you and just want to embrace you, so to speak. And it just blew my brain. Like, I remember just going, holy shit. So yeah, like that was, I will always hold that experience close to my heart. It was just so great. So anyway, I get to the point in the afternoon when I'm in line for Peter Cullen, and like that was a long line, and rightly so. So while we're in line, I ended up having like conversations with other people in the line, just complete strangers, just like turning around wanting to talk to you, or they're in the next line meeting someone else, and they call out to you for some reason. I don't know why, but some people, I just notice people just find it easy talking to me, or just coming up to me and talking to me, or they feel safer talking to me. I don't know why, but just complete strangers. I can just have full-on conversations with, just randomly in shops or in public somewhere. And so yeah, I'm having these conversations with these guys about, you know, how they just met him, or he's, you know, just going off about it and stuff. So I'm getting extra hyped up, and the closer I get, I start thinking about the old cartoons, or the animated movie from 84, 85, where it was, and start, you know, seeing these people walking past with just total bliss expressions on their face, like they just met God or something like that. And you know, people with a box with the original 80s Transformer or something, and it's been signed and all that shit, and I'm just getting like extra amped. Anyway, so I get to the front of the line, and my throat and mouth is so dry at this point. I couldn't really put any words together very well. Before I could even say anything, before I could even say g'day or hello, he saw my bag, and I've got this big Superman symbol bag, and he looks up and he's like, "Oh, Superman," in his Optimus voice, and I was just floored, I literally couldn't pull two words together, and I was just like, hey Peter, g'day, you know, can't believe you're finally here, your voice has stuck with me since childhood, and I'm a 29-year-old man, and I've been waiting to meet you for 20 odd years, and at that point he was signing my stuff, and when I told him, you know, I've been waiting to meet you for 20 years, and he kind of sat back up, and he's like, whoa, you know, what did I just hear, and then he started, I could see his eyes, wasn't really talking after that point, and his eyes were kind of watering up a little bit. And I have seen other videos online about with interviews or fan meetings and stuff, talking to people, and he's so very genuine in those videos, and so appreciative and just humble. And I think he was just like, holy crap, someone just told me that they've waited 20 years to meet me. Obviously that's got to take you back a little bit. And I think that's what happened, because he wasn't really chatty. He just kind of looked a bit teary. So, you know, I was a bit like, oh crap, I just upset him, or did I just put him off or something? I'll just jump straight in from there to when I met him in the photo booth. I waited there for about an hour before the line started taking in. Anyway, I get through, and he remembers me. I walked around the corner, and he's full on arms open, he recognised me. You know, so, you know, as I'm walking over, he's like, 20 years and we're finally here. And I was like, yep. Oh crap, I was just going, oh my god, right here. And he just full on grabbed my hand, shook my hand, said hello, and he's like, come on, let's get this photo, you know, and just really nice. And so we got the photo, and I just had to turn to him, and I was like, look, it has been an absolute honour and a pleasure to meet you. A long time coming. You don't know how much this means to me, all this kind of stuff. And he had to stop me, and he goes, look, what you said earlier today, that just meant everything to him. And he's so appreciative of that. So he remembered what I said at the booth, so it obviously struck a chord. And we had this little back and forth, a tender moment, I guess you could say, of him just holy crap, that's a long time for someone to want to meet me, and for me going, holy crap, he's right here, that's Optimus Prime. You know, and I couldn't really talk to him properly. I was just like, oh, you know, I hope you enjoy the rest of your stay in Australia, and come back anytime, you know, and I'm walking off, you know, because they're trying to rush people through, and he stopped me, and he walked back over to me as I was leaving, and he grabbed my hand and kind of put his arm on my shoulder, just looking right at me, and he's just like, thank you, and all this kind of stuff, and his eyes are watering, and I'm like, holy crap, my mind is completely shattered at this point. And you know, it was just such a great and special moment, and I'll never forget it. One of the best moments of my life, that whole day. That whole day, it's one of the best days of my life. So I go to the photo booth to get my photo with Austin St. John and Walter Jones. and I had a ticket for each. And I had in mind of just getting one photo each, so a photo with Walter and a photo with Austin. And then when we get there in the line, they're like, so who's got a ticket for each? And a few of us are like, yeah. And they're like, okay, so we're going to have a line for Austin, a line for Walter, and a line for both. So I was like, crap, I didn't prepare for this. So I debated in my head for the next 20 minutes. But I opted to get a photo with both of them at once, because I thought that would be a lot cooler. Just to have the three of us in the photo at the same time. So, you know, it's on the screen now, you can see what the end result was, but they remembered me as well. They kind of, you know, had that look on their face like, oh, it's that guy, you know, look, you know. Yeah, and I just, after we got the photo, oh, no, that's right. Yeah, and I pulled out my morpher. And Austin and Walter are like, oh, look, someone came prepared, they brought their morpher. And so I didn't see anyone else have their morphers there that day. I know on the group there were a couple others. I've seen their photos, they actually had their proper morpher and all that stuff, so that was awesome. But that's cool, they're like, oh, look at this guy, he's ready, he's prepared. So, you know, we get the photo done, and like, I'm in pose, and they've got their helmets with them, and after that I just turned both of them, and I was like, look, you know, it's been an absolute pleasure. The same thing, I was just like, man, just meeting you two after so long of seeing you guys through child's eyes, it's just really something special. And they're just kind of, you know, looking at me like, you know, they're big smiles on their face, like, you know, well, you know, thanks for coming to see us, and I really appreciate it. And I was like, oh, look, you know, you're going to make a big 29-year-old man cry here. And they had a bit of a laugh. And you know, Walter just giving me a pat, like, kind of fist on my chest. And Austin just kind of like, you know, nodding and smiling respectively. And, you know, much love, he says. And it was so great. If this were an Xbox, there would be an achievement unlocked right there. So those were two of the biggest things of 2014 that were really much life achievements for me. It might not sound like anything special to some of you watching this video, but you know, but to me, yeah, big time win. So this year in 2015, Jason David Frank is coming, and for those that don't know, he's the Green Ranger, the White Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the Red Zeo Ranger, the Red Turbo Ranger, Black Dino Thunder Ranger. You know, he's been through that franchise forever, but I was more of a fan of his green and white run, so when he's coming through, I have to be there as well. I just have to. He's another one that I just need to meet in my life and tick off the bucket list. So I'm coming for you, Jason David Frank. Coming for you in Australia. So that's it from me. I just want to hear from you guys. What was your highlight for 2014, and what are you looking forward to this year in 2015? I didn't want to make a video about going in through all the negatives of last year. I don't need that. No one needs to talk about negatives. Just move on, focus on the positives, and have good times. So drop me a comment, like me on Facebook if you want to keep up with all my happenings. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And look, let's have a good 2015, guys. All positivity, much love, and everything. You've just been chanted!